So let's not start pretending that we care about wins and losses when it comes to preseason games. Who knows? Simons could be the next Panther to make the jump to the next level. From Primetime Sports, I'm Cecil Hannibal. At this very moment, the #1 ranked Alpharetta Raiders are the only thing standing between the Chattahoochee Cougars and hosting their first playoff game. Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm Cecil Hannibal, and thanks for tuning into the season finale of Primetime Sports. That is correct. The black and gold had some shortfalls, but the rookies found a way to shine. I'll tell you all about that coming up next. The Jags drafted Leonard Fournette 4th overall for a reason. Speaking of former LSU Tigers, one of Paul Manieri's best players, Andrew Stevenson, making a game-winning catch last night. Literally, game-winning.
One of the most devastating storms in Florida history.
There were 3 tornadoes actually at the same time Irma was happening. I wasn't able to talk to her. I was frantic. I was wondering if she was okay, but I mean, I've never been in a hurricane situation, but she kept telling me like it might really be that serious. So after a while, the reality hit me.
Took a direct hit from Hurricane Irma.
This is not a Category 1. This is nothing to ride out and say, oh, it's just a blow.
I'm told the concern for so many here is what their families are experiencing.
Authorities are saying, get out of here, but that's just not the reality. There will be tens of thousands who do not leave.
Hurricane Irma had the second fastest sustained winds in the Atlantic ever recorded at 185 miles per hour. It's a pretty scary, destructive force heading for the United States.
Janae Thomas is a sophomore at Georgia State University. Her world was flipped upside down when she heard that her home in Miami, Florida was in the path of Hurricane Irma.
The worst that happened to like our neighborhood was trees were down and there was a lot of debris, but downtown Miami was hit really hard, really hard. They're still suffering from damage.
Thomas's mother, Janine John, works in a hospital in the city of Miami. Despite warnings to evacuate the city, John chose to stay behind and help her community.
She said, we have to be selfless for other people sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but sometimes it's what you have to do.
John made sure her daughter was prepared for any situation.
She sent me all of her documents, like all her legal documents and everything, and she said, if I don't talk to you, no, I'm okay, but do what you have to do if I'm not. I love her and that I appreciate her for everything she's done, and that I wouldn't want her to go out any other way.
And when the storm cleared, a familiar voice said,
everything's fine, Janae. No damage was done to the house, but she did lose power, so she was like, I'm just blessed to not have to worry about what people in like Houston are going through right now.
Their family was reunited.
Hey Mom, are you okay?
When you're homeless or you're dealing with a situation like this, you're dealing with a lot of people out here who never had parents, mothers, and fathers, who never had a stable environment.
Homelessness has been an issue for as long as we can remember. Atlanta is known for its entertainment and food, but what's often neglected is how high the homeless population is in this major city.
In the city of Atlanta, homelessness, as far as how bad it is bad.
It's like Atlanta's a beautiful city, but it's not beautiful when half the community is on the streets.
Almost on every corner you go on, especially downtown area, you can find someone who's homeless.
Many homeless men and women suffer from mental illness. A large percentage of them are victims of drug addiction, but we often overlook what exactly leads these lost citizens to such a dark path.
What they do is they use alcohol and drugs to cover up the pain, but now everything they ever begged for or worked for, they spent it on these drugs or alcohol.
By helping people who are less fortunate, many activists believe they can help solve the homelessness problem. A youth pastor from Clayton County believes bringing positive energy can help lift the homeless community.
We're just here to show love, man, just to feed the homeless, those who are less fortunate. It's my heart go out here every time I ride past here and I see somebody sleeping on a bridge, sleeping out here, sleeping with families, because that could be me.
Pastor Webb brings dozens of students to Hurt Park every Saturday in an effort to raise the morale of the homeless people. The students pass out food, spread their message to the homeless, and they even have a dance-off. Edward Kapazi spent years suffering from drug addiction, which caused him to become homeless.
My mission is to break oppression over the homeless, encouraging people in their hopelessness, because most of these people that are homeless have given up.
Once he beat his addiction, Kapazi began traveling the United States to help those going through the same internal struggle.
Next for me, I got to go to Alabama, and I believe that God's Spirit is doing a mighty work. So I'm just going to keep walking in faith.
It's obvious there's no one solution to the homelessness problem in Atlanta, but all it takes is for strong individuals to start making a difference every day. Who knows? He could make a difference in a city near you. From GSTV, I'm Cecil Hannibal.
Here's Simons from outside.
The thing about DeMarcus, he scores effortlessly.
When you watch him, you can tell he's the best player on the court. You can tell his teammates have confidence in him.
Defense is amazing. Offense is phenomenal, as you can see. Just a dog. He's a dog.
DeMarcus Simons was a 4-star recruit out of high school. The basketball phenom had a breakout freshman year at Georgia State, averaging 13 points and winning Sunbelt Freshman of the Year. In his first exhibition game of his sophomore season, Simons dropped 30 points on ACC powerhouse Georgia Tech. And now his buzz is building. ESPN analyst Mike Schmitz recently called Simons a potential draft prospect. So what does that mean for the 6'4" guard? He could be the first legit NBA prospect out of Georgia State since R.J. Hunter in 2015. That's a lot of pressure on a 20-year-old college kid. But the question is, can Simons live up to the hype? Head coach Ron Hunter seems to think so.
He's just one of those guys that he was born with a special gift, and it reminds me a lot of my son, RJ. Some guys are just born with that, and he has it. And it is sometimes that you can't coach it, you can't go recruit it. Sometimes you just have it, and he's one of those guys that has it.
Simons may have the it factor, but what exactly makes him such a dynamic player on the court?
He's just a killer. He just has that killer instinct. I feel like his slashing. I mean, he just gets to the rim with ease. He blows past defenders. His first step's quick. You can't guard it. And he doesn't miss around the rim.
Simons is a slashing two-way guard with athletic ability to match the pros. He's a beast on both sides of the floor, and his work ethic speaks for itself.
His energy, he plays at a high motor, and I think that gets him going on the offensive end, defensively. And so that makes him an all-around better player than everybody else.
With his athleticism and high motor, it's no surprise which NBA superstar Simons models his game after.
I always looked up to Russell Westbrook ever since I was, freshman year. Just because the way he played, that's how I played. He always played hard. Players like that, they never really took days off. So if I come out here and take a day off, there's no way I could ever be great.
The comparison is easy to see. His fans and teammates think he could make the jump to the NBA after this season.
I see DeMarcus going to the league, and he going to be a sleeper. He going to blow up out of nowhere. He going to put Georgia State on the map.
I think he's the player of the year this year, for no doubt.
As his draft stock rises, the young guard will have more and more on his plate. Coach Hunter is making sure Simons stays focused on the long season ahead.
Control what you can control. And that's, we talk about, we have a sign here about win today. Just worry about today. He just turned 20 years old. And so he's young and understanding that. But he has a great feel for the game. And when he gets to mental and it catches up with the physical, he'll be a monster.
I can't see nobody stopping us. We're unstoppable. Went through a whole lot of obstacles. I swear we did the impossible. A whole lot of pain, we gon' get it back. We gon' get it back. I can't see nobody stopping us. Unstoppable.
When he gets in that zone, he's literally unstoppable.
Whatever it take, we gon' get it. Ain't nobody stopping us. Mafia.
He gonna be the reason tuition gonna be super high in a few years.
I just spent a brick on my Jesus. You gotta put God first. Thought I told you we're unstoppable.